Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Faith. I'm a registered nurse. On this channel, I talk about general leveling up, especially if you are a nurse who want to relocate from their country to the US. You are on the right channel. So if you are new, welcome. If you are returning, thank you so much for the support. And let's get right into the video of the day. So guys, as you've seen from the title of the video, we are going to tackle our resume today. The reason why I did this video is because a lot of you guys are asking me for a sample of the resume that I used to secure an agency. So I decided maybe I should talk about the most important things that you should never forget to include to your resume if you want to get a recruiter as a nurse. Now, what you should put in mind is a CV usually has those general things that are supposed to be there, but there is a CV for each company, for each agency, for whatever job that you are applying to. You can't just take a general CV that you got from somewhere and edit it with your name and send it to someone. So you have to tailor your CV to whatever the needs of that agency that wants, that you are eyeing, so that they can look at you as a potential person who can join them. So now that we are going to talk specifically about nurses who want to relocate to the US, I'm going to also include those things that you should not forget as a nurse who want to be recruited to the US to work as a nurse, the things that you should never forget to include in your CV. So the first part of your CV should have your personal details. That is your personal details, that is your personal information and your contact information. Now, for your personal information, you should make sure that your name is popping out. Normally, your font should be the right font for your CV, but your name, there is an exception of your name standing out. So make sure your name is standing out from the rest of the information. So make sure if your name is, whatever your name is, its font is big, so that when someone looks at your CV, they know that is Faith's CV. So make sure your name is standing out. The next thing under your personal information should be your email address. Put your email address, never forget that. This is the modern world. A lot of people are communicating through the email. It is the easiest way to communicate. That's how your recruiter will notify you if they have taken you or if they couldn't consider you. So don't ever forget to put your email address. Another thing under your personal details is your address. Don't forget to put your address. Ensure that you include your address in your personal information. Another thing under your personal information is your telephone number, your contact. Make sure you put your telephone number because they might need to call you. And also don't forget to include your country's code on that telephone number, because they may be having a budget maybe for 20 nurses from Kenya, for 20 nurses from Nigeria, and you didn't include your code. Now they don't know which country you come from, but then you might be the only person who applied from your country and you stand a bigger chance to be taken, but now they don't know exactly where you are from. So that will make you lose a chance just by making a very simple mistake of not adding your country's code on your CV. The second section of your CV should be your personal statement. Some people call it your personal profile. Now, this is the place you quickly explain who you are, what your values are, and what you can bring to this role as a nurse in their institution. So make sure you sell yourself there, because Some agents, some recruiters just look at that. They just look at what your personal statement is, what your profile is, what you're all about, what your values are. They have a lot of CVs that they want to go through, but your personal profile just summarizes everything for them. They can look at it and it catches their eye and they decide that this is the right person that we want to work with. Remember, your CV is like your marketing tool, is the first thing that your employer sees, or your recruiter. They don't know you, they didn't hear your voice, they didn't see your face, they didn't see how tall, beautiful or dark you are. So your CV is the thing that will sell you to them. Before they even consider giving you that opportunity of an interview, your CV will be the one to tell them this is the right person for them. So make sure your personal profile, your personal statement is top notch. Make sure you don't use these cliches that people are used to saying, because these recruiters have seen it all. They've seen all these cliches that people use. So be authentic and write exactly what you are, your values. Make sure you write something that is unique and will not, someone will just not look at it and brush it off. Oh, this is the usual things, the usual. So make sure you stand out from the rest. The third part on your CV is your previous work experience. Now, this is where a lot of nurses who want to get a job in the US get it wrong, because some of us just write, I've worked in this hospital, or they just write from year this to year this I was in this hospital, from year this to year this I was in this hospital. No, make sure you give them at least the correct details under that subtopic. Now, you should include your work title. If you worked in like Kenya Hospital, you worked in Kenya Hospital, you are in ICU, ensure you tell them that I was an ICU nurse. Like, write ICU nurse, then that is your job title. Then name of the organization. If it is the Kenya Hospital, write the Kenya Hospital. I work there as a ICU nurse, and you include the years that you are there. From 2020 to 2021, I was at Kenya Hospital working as an ICU nurse. So if you don't specify that you've ever even worked in the ICU, and maybe these people are really looking for people who are in that department, you see, they just look at you as maybe the normal nurse with no specialty. So make sure you include the relevant information under this work experience. Now, before we go to the next section, I just want to include something on your job experience part. Make sure that you write, it is very okay to write, to add your working hours there. And you can also include your nurse to patient ratio, because that is one thing that US agencies really look at. So you can look at the work experience. You say, I was in Kenya Hospital, I was working as an ICU nurse. My work, how many hours I was working a week. Let's say you say I was working 40 hours a week, and then you say the nurse to patient ratio was this. Yeah, just make sure you give those details that they really want to hear from you. Now, to the next section, your education qualification. So here, please give the relevant education qualification. Stop talking about primary school, okay? Sometimes I don't think even high school is important. It's good you talk about your college. You can include your high school, but please just include your, no, not even your high school, just please include your college education, your nursing school education. If you are doing a degree, include that. If you did any specialization, include that. If you did any certification, that maybe BLS, ACLS, include those. Those are the relevant education qualifications that are relevant to this, whatever you are applying to. They don't care about your high school. They don't care about your primary school. Just include the relevant academic qualifications at this point. Stop telling them things that are not relevant to nursing. They don't need to know what you got in primary school. They only need to know if you are a qualified nurse, if you sat for the board exams in your country and you passed. Okay. The fourth section of your CV should include the skills that you possess. And some people may take that, the skills part, and merge it into the previous work experience, such that you say that I was in Kenya hospital, I was working as an ICU nurse, and these are my skills that I was able to master, and I have been working there from this time to this time. That's okay. But you can also put your skill sets in a different section, and you say these are my key skills that I possess, and then you write if you know, taking care of critical patients on tracheostomy, respiratory patients with respiratory issues. You know how to write your skills, the skill sets that you've mastered. If it is cannulation, doing ECGs, all those things, you can write the skills that are relevant to what you are applying to, so that when this agency looks at your CV, they know, oh, this is a person we are looking for. This person can handle this hospital in the US because they know how to perform the ECG, they know how to take care of a patient on a ventilator, they know how to take care of a patient with a tracheostomy, they know how to take care of a patient with whatever case. So make sure you include your skill sets in your CV. That is the fourth part of your CV that should be included in your CV if you want these agencies to consider. Another section that you should include in your CV is your achievements. Now, again, don't put irrelevant achievements there. Okay? Put achievements that are related to nursing. Write the achievements that you've achieved in your career as a nurse, so that they see. Just put things that your proudest moments as a nurse, put them under those achievements, and also put them in bullets, or you can number them, but don't write a paragraph, because no one wants to write a paragraph. So you can put your achievements there. Make sure that there are things that are related to nursing. That is one thing that will also help you, they will sell you up. Okay, there is another section that I see people include. I don't think it's very necessary, but there are people who include their hobbies and interests. Please, if you ever include your hobbies and interests, make sure they are related to whatever you are applying to. Okay, if you are a nurse, okay, don't say that I enjoy maybe shooting guns. See, that is weird. It is not even related to nursing. So put things that you enjoy doing that are related to nursing, be it community service, be it entertaining people, because who wants a boring nurse, be it learning new cultures, because of course you are going to the US, which is a different place that you've never lived at. So If you ever want to include your hobbies and interests, please make sure you put hobbies and interests that are related to nursing, not just random things. I like sleeping. Really, if you say that, who wants to have a nurse who likes to sleep? So make sure if you put this part, because a lot of people put it, the hobbies and interests, make sure you put hobbies and interests that are related to nurse. The last part of your CV should be your referees. And I see people say that, some people say that you can write there that your referees can be available when they are needed, but I don't encourage that because it just doesn't sound right. So I will encourage you to add your referees. Make sure they are people you trust that they will give a positive feedback about you. It can be your nurse, your in charges, it can be your chief nurse, it can be anybody who has power that can give positive feedback about you. It could be even your principal. So just make sure that you put someone who can be called and they talk positively about you. Don't put someone whom you have grudges with just because they were the hospital manager or something. Just make sure you put someone who will sell you, not someone who will make you lose that chance. So referees, also make sure you put their name, their title, make sure you put the institutions they are working with, their phone number, ensure you put the code, also the country's code, and also put their address. That is how you write the referee. Their name, their title, the institution they are working with, their phone number, and their address, just like your personal information. Okay guys, now you've seen how you should structure your CV. So I want to go through the mistakes that people do that and make their CV not presentable, and they make the recruiters not consider them. Now, the first mistake people do is make their CV too wordy. By wordy, I mean your CV is so long that this person looks at it and they're just exhausted, because mark you, they have like 100 other CVs to go through. So make sure your CV is straight to the point. Don't put things there that are irrelevant to whatever you are applying to. If you are a nurse, don't include how you are good at volleyball in high school. All those stupid things, please keep them away from your CV. Let it be simple and straightforward. The minimum CV should be at least 2 pages. Some people say that if you have been in the field for so long, you can take it up to 3 pages, but to be safe, make it 2 pages. Another mistake that people do is they submit their CV with grammatical and spelling errors. That is the worst you can do to yourself. Please, before you submit your CV, proofread it, make sure it is okay. If you think that you can miss something, give it to someone so that they can proofread it for you and make sure that your CV is okay. So don't make that mistake of submitting your CV with mistake, because people will look at it and think that this is a very careless person. This person doesn't pay attention to detail. They didn't even care. They were just applying for the sake of it. So don't do that to yourself. Another mistake that some people do is providing their CV without their email address. I've talked about this. The major way people are communicating these days is through email. So if you don't have an email, please go open one, If you have one, make sure it is a professional email. Again, something that other people do, you opened an email and it was like sexyfaith@gmail.com. Who wants to look at such emails? Make sure your email, to be safe, use your official names. Okay, make sure your email is official, not a funny looking email. So make sure you include your email address with your CV. Don't forget that. Another mistake that people do is they have a CV that is just continuous, like there are no breaks. See the way I've given you the structures of the CV, like it should have those subheadings. Your personal information should be headed by your name, and I told you your name should stand out from the rest of the writings. And then when you go to several other subheadings, you should say my personal profile, then under it you write whatever should be. Then work experience, you write your work experience below that. So make sure that your CV is not a boring one, such that someone looks at it and they just wonder what the hell was that. Just make sure that your CV catches the eye. Make sure that it has those white spaces in between, and subheadings and subtitles are well spaced so that it can catch someone's attention, so that someone wants to look at it. Another mistake that people do is write irrelevant information. Your marital status, nobody cares. Your height, nobody cares. Your weight, nobody cares. You're not an air hostess who wants to apply, because I think air hostesses, they even need their photos. We don't need your photos on your CV. We just need to know that you are a nurse who is qualified and who has these skill sets that we are looking for. So don't put your height, don't put your marital status, don't put your nationality, ati ama Kenyan. No, don't do that. Okay? Don't say I'm a nurse. We already know that you are a nurse, that's why you are applying to this. So that is very relevant. So avoid irrelevant information in your CV. Another mistake that people do is use weird fonts. Fonts that, those slanting ones, the fancy ones, those fonts will only harm you. Just use the official fonts, the fonts that are recommended for your CV. There are fonts like the Arial. I don't know how to pronounce them, but I'll write them on the screen. You'll see there's like the Arial, I think it's the Arial or the Aries. There is the New Times Roman. There is the Palatino. There are several fonts that are good, that are recommended for the CV, for writing of CV, and that is what you should use. Stop using those fancy fonts that will only harm you. Another mistake that people do is providing very little information about themselves. There are people who are too cautious that they provide their CV with, they chop off the right information that should be there, and you find a CV that is like 1 page, which is too short. Just make sure your CV has enough information that is needed when you are applying. Now for the YouTube channel that I want you guys to look at, it's called Vids Career. It's called Career Vids. This is a YouTube channel that is very resourceful when it comes to interviews and when it comes to creating your CV. So I also got my inspiration from that channel when I created my CV. So I'll want you guys to go look at it and search for CV videos and listen to them. you'll have very clear information on how to write your CV, so that you don't mess up your CV, because these people are also from the US. They understand the market there, so they know what they tell you about every profession that you want to write your CV to, or something like that. So go to vids, career vids, and watch the videos under how to create your CV, and you'll thank me later. They are not sponsoring me, they're just a channel that really helped me when I was creating my CV. I also link the link of the exact video in the description box. So you guys, if you can't find that channel, just go to my description box and you'll get the link, and you'll be able to watch. These guys are awesome. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for coming by and stopping by, so that you've watched up to this end. I hope you have gotten something out of this video, and I hope I've helped you. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. If you got any value from this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.